Thank you, Presiding Officer. And I want to firstly start by saying that I have had sincere and deep ponderings over this debate today, and in fact over the last few weeks. And I have had cause to really take time to reflect. Now, my concerns around HPMAs and the impact they will have on fishers and coastal communities across Scotland are well known to the Scottish Government. First and foremost, however, I hope they are known to the fishers across my constituency, because representing coastal communities of Banffshire and Buchan Coast is a great honour and one I do not take lightly. And it is for this reason, Presiding Officer, that I wish at the outset to make this promise to them. I promise I will never support a policy that would be to the detriment of the lives and livelihoods of the coastal communities across Scotland. I was elected to be a strong voice for our coastal communities and a steward and an advocate of not just the people, but also the land and the sea, and I will be just that. Our rural communities have been through a great deal over the last few years, and as a member of the Rural Affairs and Islands Committee, I have listened to some devastating testimonies about the impact of Brexit on our farmers and fishers. The loss of EU funding as a result of the reckless Tory Brexit is just one example of the significant damage imposed on our rural economies. We place so much responsibility for delivering net zero on our rural industries, and we must remember that our farmers and fishers are also responsible for our food security. Yes, I will. Will I get the time back?
I appreciate the member taking the intervention, but on Brexit, would the member not agree with me? It's not Brexit that's hell-bent on banning fishing in a vast swathes of our seas. It's the Greens and the SNP that want to do that.
No, I disagree with the member's take on that, and I will come to that later on in my speech. But the whole rhetoric around ban on fishing, I'll come to this politics, which seem to be driven by popularity, and that's not helpful to this debate, and it's not constructive. We do place a lot of burden and responsibility, and they are responsible for our food security. So if we place ever greater burdens on them, we must ensure that we also provide the relative financial, human and, yes, legislative support. Fishers have lost trust in politicians to deliver for them, and quite frankly, I don't blame them. And this is the sorry result of being used as a political football for so long and having their priorities consistently politicised. Now that brings me to the motion before us in the name of Rachel Hamilton. Are we really supposed to believe, after everything the Tories have done over the last few years to bring our rural industries to the brink and our economy to the knees, that they are trustworthy custodians of our farms, fisheries or natural environment? Need I say more than Liz Truss, Boris Johnson, Brexit? And despite Tory indignation, in March it was announced that HPMAs will be introduced south of the border by the Tory UK government. The hypocrisy is astonishing. Yesterday, Rachel Hamilton said that she is obviously opposed to HPMAs. Well, why does she stand on a Tory manifesto commitment in 2021 to implement pilot schemes of them? To the fishers listening at home, be aware of this. The Cabinet Secretary will be reassured that I do not intend to tear up any motion in a fit of theatrics today, although my colleague Rachel Hamilton did state that she'd like to see that. The Scottish Parliament is not a place for amateur dramatics. It's a place where we debate, discuss as reasonable representatives the genuine needs of our constituents and of our country.
You must conclude,
I want to
Ms
thank the
Adam.
Cabinet Secretary for the constructive discussions.
Thank you, Ms Adam. You must conclude at that point.